I'm talking to a lot of different agency owners about all the changes that are happening. We are talking about a lot of, internal changes that you're changing your playbook. People are working
Yeah.
from a remote team since COVID. There's a lot of things on agency owners. There's a lot of agency owners that also listen to this podcast. But man, I talk to a lot of different agency owners from different areas, and everybody's focused on something different about what's going on with Google. And all the time on social media, there's new studies coming out that are contradicting past studies, and then
Yeah.
things are changing. And it's like a constant, it's a constant moving target. And so I'm working on building a little news bot that's like bringing in all the news for me to tell me what's going on, because I have clients all the time that are like, hey, did you see this study where, it was a SEM Rush study, I think it was, and it's kind of surfaced a lot more recently, but this was like maybe a week or two ago. And they're like 27% of LLMs are picking up like data from things that are not getting indexed. Where is that coming from? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I want to go look at that study. That's pretty interesting. Right.
Yeah.
And so things like this are constantly happening. I think that the LLMs were even following more or less when they introduced RAG to what Google was doing. They were kind of relying on Google. Hey, you've done this for a long time. We're going to lean on you. But now they're not doing that. They're surfacing stuff from, searches 21 and below a large amount of time. I don't have the exact statistic. So there's just all this data that's constantly, I guess, evolving. And so I would love to hear kind of you set the table of kind of how you're viewing this, what you're looking at it, what are the things that are important to you, and kind of how you're going to move forward with it.
Sure. I mean, me personally, I'm kind of in the SEO is basically LLM EO or AEO or whatever you want to call it for LLMs optimization, but I'm not deaf. I'm not blind. I see things happening all the time. Maybe some things are even changing a little bit, but I think that the fundamentals stay the fundamentals. And if we try to kind of pick up every little thing that's changing all the time, we're just going to get paralyzed by information and by choice. So I think that we should basically just look at the fundamentals and try to get away from them in a way where we can experiment a little bit, but base most of what we're doing on all of the things that worked before that still work. Like you said, a lot of the citations in LLMs come from like the 20th position, the 50th position, and so on. That is in part because those results explain the topic a bit better than the ones on the first place. Because someone who's in the first position can maybe have the best backlinks, maybe they can have a great content, maybe a great brand, but possibly they don't explain the product or the service or whatever the user is searching for in a complete way. And the LLM is pulling information from someone who maybe doesn't have all of those backlinks and branding and so on, but they do have like a really contextual product page or a service page or an information like a blog post or something with original info, insights, data, statistics, and so on. I could really go deep into what I think the fundamentals are and that we should do and what we should do. But I think whoever's listening to this podcast probably knows what those are. I think like generative experience or whatever optimization or LLM optimization is basically good SEO, and bad SEO is what people think is dying. Yeah, people are saying all the time like SEO is dying, and then they list what they think SEO is, and it's like cloaking, black hat. It's writing up like really stupid articles that are 2,000 plus words because of some reason, and so on. And that is dying, and that has been dying for a long time. So good SEO, or whatever you want to call it, is not dying. It's more alive than ever. We're seeing great results with all of our clients. We're seeing great results from other people in the space as well. Whoever's doing their job right gets listed in LLMs, so that's not an issue. But if you're trying to do the black hatty stuff and so on, that can work for a while, but not long term. So I don't know if you want me to get into something more specific about the fundamentals or the future, or